My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face.
Hello and welcome back to Coffee and Film. This is Unfiltered. Now I'm sure you're aware that the final Joker trailer has dropped recently and it's gone down to overwhelmingly positive responses. But I want to delve a bit deeper into it. I want to think about, could Joker save the DCEU? I'm going to look at some points for and some points against, and we can see what we can come up with. So, let's have a chat, and let's stick around, put on a brew, and here we go. Can Joker save the DCEU?
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
First reason, no, it's not part of the DCEU. Now I imagine many of you are furious by now and are throwing things at your TV, laptop or mobile screen going, Matt, it's not part of the DCEU. How can it save it? And I would say, yes, you're right. Back in 2017, it was reported that Joker would be the first film under a new banner that has yet to be named in which Warner Brothers can expand the canon of DC properties and create unique storylines with different actors, playing the iconic characters. So how can this film affect something that it's not part of? So surely it can't save the DCEU. Yep, that's it. Argument over. Nothing else to say. Nothing else at all to say. Not a thing more to say. Yes, it's an opportunity to restart. I lied. There is plenty more to say. This is a massive opportunity to restart for the DCEU, because this is a totally separate film set in a totally separate timeline. It's really distancing itself. You've got no connecting tissue anymore. It's just standalone. It's a real opportunity. If the people at Warner Brothers didn't like what's come before with the DCEU, they can release this film, which is quite literally distancing itself by being set in 1981, and slowly start a new timeline and shove everything else aside. Back in 2014, it was discussed by the people at the head of the DCEU that they would develop more of a shared universe, but multiverses, so there would be multiple films going back. Although this might have been dropped by now, the idea of having multiple universes could still be out there and would allow a very easy way for the DCEU to restart with this film. No, the timeline. One problem with this film, though, is the timing. They're starting back in 1981, brilliant, separating itself, lovely, already discussed that. However, there is an issue with this, because we've already got a quite old Joaquin Phoenix. Again, apologies for pronunciation, I can't pronounce anything. Joaquin Phoenix. And you've got quite a young Bruce Wayne, who also features in the trailer. Now this kind of adds a timeline problem, because if the DCEU wants to restart, and they want to start all these new properties again in this new timeline, you have the problem that it's going to be quite likely that Batman will have to face a geriatric Joker. Joker is going to be 60s, 70s by the time Batman's even making his name. It's a bit of a timeline kerfuddle. Although, if you're a fan, especially a fan of comics, you'll know that this isn't a massive issue, because comics will find a way. You need look no further away than Batman Beyond, the film, to find a way that they've essentially used the timeline to their advantage, and they can always find a loophole, so I wouldn't worry too much about this reason. Yes, different focus. There is an interesting element though, because they are really focusing on separating themselves now with Joker, it feels like. There is a real operatic feel to the whole film, and it feels like the focus is very much away from any superhero. It feels very grounded, very real. It's something that not all superhero films feel at the moment. But it's also doing something quite interesting. So one of the criticisms of Batman vs Superman and the Justice League is it tries to tie itself together too quickly, too neatly. They're putting all the breadcrumbs in place for people to follow. It doesn't quite work. So what they've done is they've gone back to a sort of Marvel-esque, where they focus on single character development arcs. Which is good, which is great. I mean, in my opinion, that worked really well for Wonder Woman, focused on one single character. It kind of was successful in Man of Steel. Mostly.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
But by focusing on a single character, you usually get a better film. But then they're taking another step to distance themselves. They're taking another step by making it a villain. This is something that even Marvel haven't done before. Marvel's closest one to focusing on a villain, you'd say, would be Infinity War. and that doesn't really count. So this is really a film that hasn't been done before in the superhero genre as much. This is a real chance for DC Comics to really make a statement, and it could be fantastic. No, the DCEU appears to be keeping going. I mean, there's tons of films still yet to come in the DCEU. I mean, you've got The Flash, you've got Wonder Woman 1984, you've got Shazam 2, you've got Aquaman 2, you've got Birds of Prey, you've got Black Adam. These are all still in process and all could still come out. So why would Warner Brothers want another film to come out that would rock the apple cart? There's no point. They've got too many irons in the fire now to really mess everything up. Maybe. It's happened before. Yes, it looks awesome. It really does look great. So far, as I said earlier, it's been operatic. It's looked like cinema beauty. You can eat and drink every frame. It looks really, really great. And Warner Brothers haven't been great at their marketing for films in the past. So it's really good to see them come out and really put their best foot forward. You look back and you look at Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice with the reveal of Doomsday and essentially the entire film's plot. That wasn't great. So it's really good to see a film that just goes, we're not going to show you any plot, we're just going to show you how stunning it looks and we're going to give you the mood straight away. And everybody has eaten it up. It looks fantastic. Little caveat though, lots of people thought Suicide Squad was going to be great because of the marketing. Yeah. No. Does it even need resetting? I mean, this is a big argument. Lots of people, like myself, have been disappointed with the quality of the DCEU so far, with the exceptions of Wonder Woman. Lots of people liked Aquaman. Good on you, but you're wrong. But it made a lot of money. Aquaman made a huge amount of money. They got Wonder Woman 1984 coming up. Wonder Woman itself made a lot of money. Wonder Woman 1984 is a huge release of them. Even Shazam was a moderate box office success and has greenlit a sequel. And there's a lot of talent coming up. I mean, we know that Wonder Woman 1984 is helmed by Patty Jenkins, who's done a great job previously. It's got a lot of talent in there. But also you've got The Suicide Squad reboot, which is directed and written by James Gunn of Guardians of the Galaxy fame. That could be great. There's a lot on the horizon that could be good for Warner Brothers. So again, why would you need to reset it? Or why does it need saving? Final yes, nobody knows what to expect. Todd Phillips made his name in comedies. The Hangover series, Due Date. The Joker backstory. Nobody's 100% sure of what happens with it. I mean, you can take The Dark Knight's a fantastic example. We never learn Joker's backstory. It's always kept secret. In the comics, we're always given different variations of Joker's backstory. No one's ever quite sure.
Is it the scars? You want to know how I got them?
Yes, I do. I really do. I'm interested. I'm invested. Phillips came out to say that it doesn't follow anything in the comic books. That's what's interesting to me. We're not even doing Joker, but the story of becoming Joker. So what is going to hit us? Are we going to have a retelling of the story of the Red Hood from the comics? Or are we going to have something entirely different? It sounds much more like the latter. And that's really exciting and could breathe new life into what has been quite a predictable DCEU so far. So there are my thoughts. And my conclusion is, I think, it's not necessarily saving the DCEU, but it could be viewed as an opportunity. It comes out and does incredibly well. You've got the opportunity to reset the timeline or build an entirely new timeline, perhaps even with Matt Reeves' Batman. Could we even have 2 universes within the DCEU? That's madness. And also very expensive for me on box office tickets. Please don't do that. I can't afford it. I need to live. But there's a lot going on at Warner Brothers, so perhaps they'll just see how it goes and work it out from there. I've been Matt, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to check out any of the other videos on the channel, please do. They're floating around my head right now. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. Have a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Thanks very much.